manonood, sa lahat ng ating listeners. Welcome po sa Mabuting Pilipinas. Ako si Maria at we are very blessed no, na kasama po natin ngayon ang isa, para sa akin, isa sa mga movers at shakers ng Philippine sustainability sector. So papakilala ko po siya sa ating lahat, si Miss Marimar May Baticolon. She has been working in sustainable development and sustainability education for over 7 years. Currently, nag-work po siya as the 30 House Philippines Coordinator, a global initiative powered by ACTED, together with various changemakers locally and globally. Si Mai po ay co-founder ng Sustainable PH, a non-profit raising sustainability leaders in the Philippines. She's also the co-founder po ng Society of Sustainability Practitioners and is part of the Global Shapers Community, an initiative of the World Economic Forum. Formerly, Mai served as the Program Director of Learn to Lead Sustainability, Assistant Vice President of the SM Sustainability Office at SM Investments Corporation, and the Program Head for Organizational Sustainability at the Ateneo Institute of Sustainability. Mai holds a master's degree in sustainability management and a bachelor's degree in management engineering from the Ateneo de Manila University. So, ulit, maraming salamat, Mai, sa pagpapaunlak mo sa aking imbitasyon na ma-interview ka. Thank you again for
Thank you,
joining us.
Maria.
Thank you.
Grabe naman yung intro.
Yes. So, I'm sure lahat ng ating manonood at nakikinig, very curious sila, no, of someone as young as you na in the sustainability sector. So, let's start na this interview with my first question. So, you've been working, Mai, in the sector, no, the industry of sustainability for over 7 years. It's a long time. If you look back, Mai, dun sa time na nag-start ka until today, what is the biggest change na you've seen in the sustainability sector that you want to share to our listeners?
Mm-mm. Thanks, Maria. So, 7 years ago, just for context, no, it was at that time na, at least in the private sector, since I started in the private sector, when you talk about sustainability as a job title, as a position, there aren't really a lot. So, baga medyo, yung time pa na yun, no, people were still trying to understand what sustainability is, especially for companies. Pero there's already good momentum given regulations incoming. So kumbaga, nung time ko na nag-start ako in sustainability, onti lang kami. Onti lang din yung interest. Parang, tapos tinatanong pa, ano ba yung sustainability? At yung tipong, kinakain ba yun? Ganon. So, so, it's not as well understood and not as well accepted versus today, where you have even students wanting to do a sustainability career as a track or doing more meaningful things. And companies really talking about their sustainability initiatives, although there are still some differences in how they understand it. Oh, but there's been a lot of exponential growth in the interest in terms of understanding it in the private sector sense, but also since I've moved from private sector to NGO and academe, no, nakita ko na nag-evolve talaga yung interest and kumbaga mas trending na siya ngayon. So dati tinatanong kung ano ba talaga yon. Ngayon, it's more of how do we really do it? How do we really contribute to sustainability? Oh, yeah, it's a good time to be a sustainability practitioner today, versus 7 years ago. Because 7 years ago, you still have to defend your what you do. But now, people are looking for it. And
Wow.
it's still a growing community. It's a small but growing community. Yan muna.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. Ano, very aligned siya, no, dito sa Mabuting Pilipinas. Napaka-good nung shinare mo sa amin na the interest is and the understanding of the sector is also increasing. Sige, thank you for sharing that. Dako naman tayo dito. So, again, more than 7 years ka na, expert, I would say nga, no, sa sustainability sector. And from what I've learned sa Learn to Lead Sustainability Program, by the way, sa ating mga manonood at nakikinig, Mai served as my facilitator sa Learn to Lead Sustainability Program last year. So, from what I've learned from that program, no, my sustainable development, it's really a complex na interdisciplinary talaga siya na field, na sector and topic. Hence, we have 17 SDGs. Hindi lang siya isang SDG. And I'm sure we have listeners din na wondering, to the best of your knowledge, which particular SDG may does is the Philippines making the most progress in? And follow-up question dyan is the opposite. Which particular SDG naman is the Philippines, tingin mo really like desperately need to focus in right now?
Mhm. Thanks, Maria. So that's a good important question. Across the board, Philippines is lagging behind all SDGs. There's good report naman assessing ito the state of of achievement noon. Interestingly, it's the report published by the SDSN, no? So you can look it up then. It's on the sustainable production and consumption. It's the SDG 12, I think. So na we're making good progress daw. So based on numbers, no, and where we lack are really most of the indicators. Pero for me, no, in terms of how I see it, um, I'm an optimist kasi, and I'm what I call a possibilist, no. I like to see, I recognize efforts in many areas. There have been a good progress in terms of the basic needs that we have that where we need to get into, like the base, no, in terms of no poverty, education, health and well-being, zero hunger, but the progress is not the pace of the progress is not enough. So, kumbaga, while we're making good progress, we need to accelerate how we reach those goals. So, for example, we are still lagging behind climate action in terms of resilience. Because we need to do and we need to respond fast kasi every year hindi naman titigil yung typhoon for us. We always need to make sure that we are resilient. At the same time, we are also growing as an economy. So the tricky thing with the Philippines, no, in terms of the SDGs, we're in a very precarious spot because we are not a big contributor to climate change. Pero we also need to grow and we are the most affected. We are always number one in terms of vulnerability. So, kumbaga, um, if the question is around, okay, where are we lagging behind? Since SDGs are interconnected, we face that tight challenge now. We cannot really prioritize one SDG over the other. We need to meet both all the economic, social, and environmental spheres. Kasi we're still in that state. We're not a high-income country yet. Pwede na tayong mas mag-focus lang on mitigation. Kasi we're always affected. Like, unlike other countries na once a year lang binabagyo, tayo, we're like every year, 20 times binabagyo. So syempre, connected na doon lahat ng SDGs around economic development, around the social responsibility side. So, but if you're talking about hard evidence data, SDG 12 is where we're making the most progress. We're lagging behind in everything. So, pero we're making good progress. So, kumbaga, in terms of the basic needs, we are making some progress, but it's not enough. So, yun yung pwede kong masabi in terms of the achievement ng SDGs ngayon, no? Kasi marami siya. So, for our viewers na hindi pa familiar, pwede nyo siyang i-search. Tapos kada SDG kasi maraming listahan ng targets na kailangan mo rin ma-meet as a country. So, yun.
Thanks, Mai. Very very I guess intrigued ako dun sa sinabi mo na for you, yung SDG 12 nga yata, yung responsible consumption and production, dun tayo as a country making the most progress. And just a follow-up question lang, what do you think is, I guess, pushing this progress in this particular SDG?
Yeah. This SDG focuses on making sure that materials that we use, for example, are circled back o kaya naman we're able to reduce our waste, etc. Or we're able to push companies to really take ownership of their of what they produce. And well, I think what's good about here is we have good regulations coming in. We have what we call yung extended producer's responsibility, asking companies na, oh, yung plastic na kasama dun sa products mo, make sure you actually take it back or recover it. And then we actually have good solid waste management regulations. So, of course, it's another question of compliance, of being able to implement, no? But we do have very stringent environmental regulations as well. Um, but for the nuance there, no, is because we also have a big population. Our waste per capita is actually waste generation per capita is small. I think it's just at 4.4 kilograms versus like other high income countries. So kumbaga it's a numbers game na we're a big population. But so in terms of waste generation, we're small. But in terms of mismanaged waste, so meaning kahit maliit yung na-generate nating waste, because we're not able to properly divert them, mataas yung mismanaged waste natin. So I think dun nagkaka-challenge. So kaya for me, even me, I question this this progress in terms of the SDGs. We do have good regulations coming in. We do have a lot of good progress. Maraming players in terms of helping this. But again, it's not enough. So meaning we need to push more. It's a lot of behavior change na that has to happen as well. Pero it's important to look at the good things that are moving forward, which is on that end. Na now we actually have rules to help companies no comply. We have programs to support communities to really segregate. And we really have a lot of players na really concerned about this SDG kasi connected din to, let's say, for example, sa SDG 13 on climate action. So, and then it's also a way to actually provide income to to communities for waste diversion. So, and there's good momentum in terms of circular economy practice in the Philippines. So for our viewers who are not yet familiar with what circular economy is, so sanay kasi tayo na yung mga gamit natin sa bahay, binibili natin. Pag sira na, pag tapos na, tapon na. So ang goal is mag-transform from what we call this linear economy to a circular one. Na yung itatapon mong, let's say, cellphone, after nyan, pwede mo pang ma-recover yung raw material, tapos gawing siyang bagong gamit ulit. So, kasi hindi naman infinite ang ating resource. So, so yun, no? So there's a lot of good progress in terms of that end. So which is why I think it's sort of a valid also progress indicator for us in terms of the SDGs.
Thank you so much, Mai. I really like it na in-emphasize mo para sa lahat ng ating nakikinig at manonood na ang daming players, ang daming talagang multi-sectoral yung participation, yung collaboration talaga. And for me, my classmates, at least parang yun yung nakikita rin namin na hindi talaga magpa-progress yung Philippines, maa-achieve yung mga SDGs na to kung isa lang party or isang industry lang yung gagalaw. So, nakakatuwa naman that you mentioned that as well, na ang daming, yun, merong regulations, pero I also like it na in-emphasize mo na behavioral change. Yun talaga, doon talaga nagkakatalo, no? Behavioral change from consumers and all that. So, thank you for sharing.